Hi everybody. I haven't made a video in like ages, probably like freshman year of college, and now I'm a senior. So, I just wanted to have a story time because I've been living like this really chaotic life, or I was living a chaotic life. And now as things are settling down, I just wanted to take a moment to tell my story to help me heal and possibly help somebody else. Um, Excuse the dings and stuff, or even like the random noises because I have a cat and a dog, and my friends are texting me. But so at the beginning of the year, I found out that I was pregnant, and that was probably like the scariest thing that ever happened to me because I it wasn't in a plan. I hadn't graduated yet. Um, I didn't know what to do. I'm this 22-year-old girl that's like, and at the time I was in this terrible relationship with somebody, and I didn't really want to tell the person that I was pregnant. I didn't want to tell my family. I didn't want to tell my friends. So basically, I'm by myself trying to figure out everything on my own. Is this something I want to do? I don't really support abortion for myself. Like other people, I don't really care. I feel like you should be able to do whatever you want to do. But for me, I've always said that if I was to get pregnant, I would just have to suck it up because I knew what I was getting into when I did what I did. And we weren't using protection, and I can't even remember the last time that we did at the time. So, basically I was going crazy. I took some time off from school. I was just coming back. I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to balance everything? Like, this is impossible. And it felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders. So then I started to like retreating myself. I didn't really know how to handle the situation, to be honest. And then shortly after I found out, the relationship got really abusive, and it was before, but it was more mentally and emotionally. And even though I don't want to say I was able to handle that because I clearly wasn't, but that's when it got real for me because I'm like, what am I going to do with this kid? And I'm in this situation. And it got to the point where I just had enough and I tried to commit suicide. And that's never the answer. Thank God, one of my closest friends, I just happened to be talking to her and she figured out how to get the police there. Like, it was a whole long story. And I'm not going to go into great detail about anything, but yeah, so it was a low point in my life. Then later after that, I was in the hospital. I even told everybody, like, I was like, I'm in this abusive situation. I don't know what to do. The school knew about it. Nobody did anything. So then I ended up getting in an even worse situation, which I'm definitely not about to really go into. But after that happened, I ended up it was just traumatizing for me, because things got a lot worse. And I ended up really retreating. At that point, I'm like, is the baby okay? Am I okay? Well, I knew that I wasn't okay at that point. I knew that I wasn't okay. And then I just it was a downward spiral, and all the events that happened made me have a miscarriage. And even though I wasn't sure if the baby was really what I wanted, losing it had to be the most traumatizing thing that has ever happened to me because, um, it's like losing a part of yourself. And, I did care about the life that was growing inside of me. So after everything happened, I ended up getting PTSD, and it was just crazy. And things just kept happening that were like really bad and really overwhelming. Meanwhile, I'm trying to deal with the fact that I just lost this child. Like, what am I going to do now? Like, do I tell people now that I don't have it anymore? Or how do I cope mentally? And I felt really alone, even though I have the most amazing support system. Like, just would do anything for me. I love them with all of my heart. They know who they are. But they are amazing and they supported me. And I didn't even really want to tell them about what happened, which eventually, when I was ready, I did. And that's the key thing. I think that you should do things when you're ready to do it. I didn't want to parade around after what happened to me because I needed to heal myself. And I needed to honestly grow from being a little girl to a woman, and mature. Like, I'm not at that level of maturity that I want to be at, but these life experiences have been life changing, and I want to say that it's for the better. I don't think that I needed to have a kid at this time in my life anyway. But that doesn't mean that it was okay. The actions that led up to it were okay at all. They weren't. But it does mean that it was a time for me to hit rock bottom to build myself up. People were like turning against me. Felt like I was losing everybody around me. I couldn't keep my head on straight. And what I learned was I needed to lose those people. I needed to see who my real friends were, who really had my back. I needed to see that my family really loves me, even though I never doubted it. I never thought I didn't have friends or none of those things. But it really put things into perspective for me because these people are here for me and they love me. And even though they're not going to always understand me, it doesn't matter. They're still here. And I'm still here because I tried to hurt myself multiple times. And the reason why I wanted to make this video is because just because things look rough, I don't want anybody to get as low as I was. And I don't want anybody to think that they're worthless or that their life doesn't matter, because life is so precious and it's gonna get better. I know it's annoying to hear because I used to be like, you guys don't know what I'm going through. How are you gonna tell me my life is gonna get better? You don't know anything, blah, 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 just being hard-headed. But it did get better. You know what I mean? And it was hard. It still is hard. It is hard to deal with. It's hard to cope with something so traumatizing, and it's not just one traumatizing thing, it's multiple things piling up on top of each other. But I have to say that I came out stronger, and I can smile. I'm happy, I wake up and I get stuff done. I'm doing good in school. Like, my life is slowly changing for the better, and I wanted to make a video to let women who have been in this similar situation, or people who feel like their life isn't worth it, like, it is. It's worth every moment. Even the bad things provide great lessons. And I mean, I can't really say that I'm at that peak where all is forgiven and, I'm handling everything as well as I would like to, or as well as anybody else would like to, but it's a work in progress, and I definitely hope that people find this message well and know that it doesn't end here. We're at this very small part of our lives. No matter where we are, it's still a small part, and there's still a whole other journey. And there's so much room for amazing things to happen, especially if you're my age, you're really young, and in the moment it seems like, your life is ruined. Like, my life is over. What do I do? How do I get out of this? It's overwhelming. I'm not going to say that it's not. And you're going to feel like crap. But understand that one day it's going to chill out. And slowly but surely, it's going to get better. Just know that. And I even need to take my own advice, and because sometimes you're going to have dark days. You just are. Sometimes you're going to cry. Sometimes you're going to call up your friends and they're like, chill out. It's going to be all right. And you're going to be like, no, it's not. It's not all right. But that's okay too. Take the good and the bad and make the most of it. Don't be ashamed of anything. Don't be ashamed of who you are, of who you're becoming. And don't let anybody make you feel bad about your journey and your story. And that's something that I'm still learning today. Like, I can't let somebody tell me who I am and where I'm going and what I'm going to do. That's not their job. That's my job. I can only define myself. And I might have all of these invisible scars and these wounds that need to be healed, but they will be healed. I know that. And just because somebody else might feel a type of way, it doesn't matter. I don't care if people don't like me or whatever, because I know my story and I know who I am. I am who I am, and that's okay with me. And it has to be okay with you. Whoever you are, it's okay. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to be flawed. People aren't going to like you. You're going to go through some terrible times. I'm talking about, you're like, I got the worst luck in the world. What do I do? I don't even know. I'm just stuck. Like, you're going to get unstuck. Somebody's going to pull you out, or you're going to pull yourself out. And honestly, the biggest lesson that I've learned is you can't rely on anybody else to make you happy. You can't rely on anybody else to love you. You have to do that for yourself, because people come and go, but you're going to stay in your life forever. And that's just the biggest lesson that I want you to take away is you are beautiful, you are strong, and you're going to get through anything and everything that's thrown your way. So I hope that you guys have an amazing, amazing day, and that this message finds you well.